lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh just you watch. I'm stepping into fate, there is no time to waste. I've got that lightning inside me, this is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I'm cranking up on the throttle, victory is mine. Show you the harder the battle, harder I fight. I've come too far to quit, step back, I'm going in. I'm cranking up on the throttle, this is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. Like iron from the fire, getting stronger. This is how legends are made. Above it all, untouchable, a new animal. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. This is how legends are made. I've got that lightning inside me, oh just you watch. This is how legends are made. I'm like a titan that's rising, oh just you watch. This is how legends are made.
Hey guys, welcome to Friday Night French Stretch, brought to you by Hobbytown out of Lincoln, Nebraska. They are our corporate sponsor for this year. Guys, if you're looking for the Traxxas Modifieds, the Traxxas late model low Cs, they are in stock along with your regular slash truck to convert over into a Baja, not Baja, excuse me, a Mud Boss design. We also want to thank Dennis Stevens, Mr. Yards and More. Guys, winter's coming, so if you need any snow removal, get a hold of Dennis Stevens and the boys at Mr. Yards and More. So guys, hey, got a pretty busy night tonight, actually a busy weekend. We're getting into our last race, our point race of the season, and that will be Saturday night. Points are tight. Some guys already got it wrapped up and some guys don't. Of course, positions are really important this weekend. And then Sunday, we have our third annual Ironman 100. Hot laps practice starts at 11 to 12:30. And then we'll have a driver's meeting, and then racing starts around 1 o'clock. And so this is kind of our third annual event, 100 lapper for the A main. So, but tonight we have a special guest coming on. His name is Zach Osburn. We're going to get to know him a little bit. What's important about Zach is he is going to be our tech director. Hopefully finishing this year out, and hopefully for next year. So we'll get Zach on. We'll talk a little bit about his racing career, and then basically, guys, comment. Let me know where you're from or who you are, and then have your questions and answers ready, or questions ready, and we're trying to give you the answers because we'll have our rule book right here in front of us, and we'll go from there. So, further ado, let's bring Zach Osborne on. Zach, you are on.
Hey guys,
man. How are you?
Hey, how's it going? I'm doing all right. Messing with a sticker right now.
Yeah, working on your cars.
Yeah, trying to get them ready for this weekend.
Are you good? Well, let's get to know Zach Osburn. Where are you from, and a little bit about you.
Currently live in Waco, Nebraska. I'm from San Diego
Not Texas, right?
originally. No, no, not like they. That was good on the first one this year
Right.
when they messed up the original license. Yeah, no, not a whole lot about me. I mean, I got into this a little over a year ago, just on a whim. Traxxas brought out a car that was going to be ready to run, and I figured I needed a new hobby that I could do, and got a hold of a couple people, did some searching online, and they produced some results for some actual tracks, and kind of just went deep quick.
Did you?
Yeah.
Well, and your family races too. I think your new wife, your new bride, she races mud bosses
Yep.
off, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, she
How does
races in the beginner class.
how does she like that?
She likes it. I mean, she gets a little frustrated sometimes, but I think we all do. That's racing.
Sure.
You know, I'll tell you, it's a lot cheaper than a big car, so that's a big bonus.
Yeah.
But outside of that, no, not a whole lot there, honestly. Not in the
Yeah, we
RC
got some
world.
pictures of you, Zach, to put on if we can get it on here. There you are, up there in third place. I think that was last Saturday night.
Yeah, that
Um,
was. And the track was fast last Saturday. It really was.
it was fast. Some of the mud bosses were down in an 8.6 time, which was
Me and Joel Fritz broke the 8.4 time last
yep.
week.
Okay. So
And that was that made a difference. Everything kind of like once the track cooled down, it seemed like it was just a lot quicker.
What time did you break? What class was that?
That was the advanced. Me and him. It was both of us was Mud Boss advanced. I think I was at
Yep.
8.45 or something like that, and he ended up getting like an 8.408.
And then yours in third. That's your mud boss. That's where you got your fast time and everything. So
Yep.
So tell me a little bit about, you said the track was fast. What kind of characteristics do you see out of this track throughout the summer that you've been racing all year? And what
So
adjustments do you have to make?
really, there's not a lot of adjustments. I mean, we got to adjust this spring. Sorry, I had to fly. Adjust the springs a little bit here and there each time we come out. It seems like when it's earlier in the day, the track's a little slower, a little looser. Once we get it blown off, it gets fast. The corners on like the late model, for instance, it will slide out from itself. If you notice that you get into the corner, it'll just spin out, especially using the stock controller.
See, and me in the late model, especially the modified, it's real tight condition.
Yeah.
I can never, I have to roll out quicker to get it turned into the corner. Whereas like Sean Rink and some of those guys, boy, they can really hug her on the bottom and stay
Yeah.
there. I can't do that. I lose. I know I lose too much momentum. So what I got to end up doing is diming the track to keep my speed up down the straightaways. So, I went there Saturday night and I just went completely the opposite way on springs, loosen her up, get her loose. Well, unfortunately, I had radio problems, so I never had any chance to practice. Of course, the tracks is modified. I couldn't get it to not to spin out. So.
See, and that's a car that I can. Well, okay, so like the Mud Boss for advanced, when I took my wife's out there, I could hold her steering all the way to the left and just run the track. And but it doesn't have a lot of weight to the front in those. And my Mud Boss advanced, I come to the corner, I can turn that stock controller all the way and she'll pull the corner. The modified's the same, but the late model, I got to feather that steering. Otherwise she just spins out.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah.
But the aerodynamics actually come into play quite a bit on those, especially when you can run at full speed. It does play a factor.
So do you see, because a lot of people are new, I'm new at this 10 scale thing. We've been kind of muddling through it all summer. And this track was built in 2012 and we built it as a large scale RC track, larger fifth scales and quarter scale RC cars. But now with the 10 scales kind of taking over the market a little bit, and I don't know how to water it, because with large scale, I really got to dump a lot of water into the track because they dig it up so much and then they throw it, whereas you guys really don't dig it. Do you see throughout, because you started racing in the spring compared to today? Do you see a lot of different tracks when you come out? Is some good, some bad? Is it smooth? Is it rough? Or
I've noticed like it's rough, but it's with like your track, it seems like as long as we keep it blown off, it kicks up a lot of extra dust, and you end up it's like running on marbles sometimes.
see, and I
And
wonder if
so
that's not created by the mud bosses with their aggressive tires because we're kind of
it,
on a
it's
Hoosier street
possible.
tire.
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, really would have to go out there and check it out to and like
Hmm.
per in between each class, you have to go out and really look at it to see what kind of difference was made, and then take the time to blow it off in between each. And you could probably get a good gauge on it. But I think that's something that in time with us not digging it up like the quarter scales do, in time it'll get figured out to where it really needs to be for dampness.
Sure. Yeah. Like today, it's 90 degrees out and the wind's blowing, and that track is hard as concrete out there. And I'm going to go out after this is over with, turn the lights on, and put a couple 100 gallons of water on it just so I can get it in by tomorrow. Otherwise, it'll be. Um, I know this track like back of my hand. What it's
Right.
going to do tomorrow night, it is going to dry out and it's going to get slick,
Yeah.
kind of like we
It's going to
had.
dry out a lot during the day too. We're supposed to be what in the
Yeah,
90, 89 or 90
yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah, yeah. The Ironman will be the kind of the same way because I won't be able to get the water in it because it just dries out too quickly, because the sun's blowing or the sun's blowing, the wind's blowing from the south and the sun's shooting down on it. So, but it should be pretty decent. I mean, we've had some pretty good Ironmans over the last couple of years, good competition racing. So, hey guys, if you got any questions, let's get on chat real quick and see who's on. Jeff Davis is on. Jeff, we were just talking about you earlier. Hope everything's going good. I know your season never came out like you thought it should because of work and things like that. So, get hold of me when you get a chance and we'll go from there. But hey, Jeff Davis, owner and operator of Hackberry Raceway, up just actually right up north of me, about 15 miles. So anything else you can share to the public on these cars that you would probably share a little secret or not? Or how do you drive the track? Do you go a
What's
little
the fun of
higher?
a secret if you share it? No. With that, with that track, if you to keep the times down and kind of keep up with each other, you got to run that inside edge about as much as possible. I notice if you get about 3 or 4 feet off the inside edge, you can get the fastest out of the corners. And as you're coming in or coming into the back straightaway, you can tuck down a little bit. You stay about. It's hard to gauge because the car's so small in comparison to the size of the track. So when you're
Right.
looking out, it's hard to truly gauge, but you just kind of figure out, I got to get a couple feet up off that inside edge and I can run because that inside edge is kind of rough,
Mhm.
especially right there by the grass.
Well, I removed the disc blades because I didn't want the cars to be hitting them and having issues. And so I moved them down into the grass, and some people visited the grass already. The track is 30 feet wide, so there's no reason to be
Yeah,
in the grass.
right. Yeah, we still find our way there.
You still find your way there. Nate Will is on. Sup, people?
Hey, Nate.
He came out last Saturday, last Saturday or 2 Saturdays ago. I don't remember. Time's going by
Last
so
Saturday
fast.
he came out.
Yeah, and he did really well first time out for all season. So
Yeah.
he's out of Fremont, Nebraska. So hey, Nate. Um, Going in to the season, and we got you to be our tech director. And again, guys, if you're on, and I don't have we only got 6 people on, but you can follow us on YouTube channel, Outlaw Raceway, Fear the Outlaw, and you can see us on Facebook, and you can watch it. It's good for 30 days, not less YouTube or Facebook. Please cut me off because of the music I used or something. And it happens all the time, but usually just 30 days. But I've got your rule book made up, Zach. So you'll be having this rule book. This
Okay.
class rule is for the classes. Now we were pretty liberal over the summer months.
We really were.
So we're going to try to be a little more liberal. We're going to still be kind of the same way Saturday night, but going into Sunday, I think we're going to try mainly to look at gears
Yeah, gears
and
and
batteries.
batteries.
You're
Yeah,
right.
those are the two that are the things. I mean, I made some calls and talked to some people because the day I bought my first car has been constantly on the phone with people, learning new things, learning how things work.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as fairness goes at the Ironman, it is going to really come down to gears, battery
Mm-hmm.
more
Right.
than anything. And battery checks are easy and quick. And honestly, I probably should have bought my first capacity controller a long time ago, because $10 on Amazon for one if you really want to. It's quick,
Right.
you know,
Right.
and check your battery right when you pull it off the charger. If you need to throw a little more juice at it, you got a second to
Right.
throw it at it. And or if you need to burn some of it off, hook it up, pull the trigger for a minute,
So, are we
see where it
going to
sits.
check battery voltage Saturday night then, or just to see what's going on, or just let's just run like we got? And
I'd say we could check battery voltage for the mains. I mean,
okay,
we've been pretty liberal this whole year on it. We can do it if you want to. That's fine. That's no issue there.
right. Well, I got the rules. Okay, and they're all printed out. I've got the Mud Boss rules, Traxxas / modified late model rules. I don't know if you guys can see it. And of course, I just end up printing out the Losi rules. So, and again, we're pretty liberal this year because we're trying to muddle through this. Now, there is a couple different things that we change. For instance, oh shoot,
Huh.
I think I lost. I don't know what happened, guys, but I lost. And the sad thing about it is this computer just got paid for. So if we're blank, I don't know exactly what went on. Gosh darn it. And I don't
Nate
know
or
how
Jeff, if you're still on, can you still see everything?
Yeah, guys, if you're on, let me know because my screen went blank. What do you see on your side?
Oh, I see both of us here. Both of us
Okay, well,
still says live.
my screen, so I can't control nothing. I don't know what happened here, guys. Let's try that. I must have. There we go. Okay, we're back. Sorry, guys. Hey, we're live. Things and shit happens when we're going live. Where were we? We're talking about what were we talking about?
How we've been liberal all season. How talking about
Yeah,
battery checks on Saturday night. And thanks, Nate. And I know Saturday night the Mud Boss, we're still running the 12T as the 12T, but I know going into Sunday we are going to, for the Ironman only, not for our Saturday night race, but for the Ironman, we are going to allow both the 12T and the BL2 system in the Mud Boss Advanced class to run together.
Right. Okay.
And
yeah,
but still, Saturday night is 12T,
right.
12-turn motor.
Well, it's our last point of the night, and I'm going to post this real quick. This is kind of an example of our plaque. So it's a plaque that is designed the state of Nebraska. And I didn't give everybody because I want a little bit of, thinking.
A little bit of mystery
To it. But that's our plaques for Saturday night. Some classes will have top 3, others will have top 5. It all depends how you qualify as far as throughout the summer. You got to race so many races. I think we had 7 races. You got to race 4 out of 3. But that's just kind of what we got going on for this summer.
Can I get a plaque for last place?
Well, you think you need one for last place?
No. Remind me to do better, I guess.
So now going into the Mud Boss, the Ironman. This is our 3rd annual. We're going to start 10 in the feature. And
yes.
What we'll do is, if you want to come around to make sure your battery chargers are charging to that 8.44 volts.
That's the max. The max,
yeah,
right?
That's Zach. Yeah. He'll have a tool. I'll supply the tool. I've got that tool that he can carry around in his pocket. It's very easy, very simple. As a matter of fact, you can see your sales and all this stuff.
I got a
you
secondary on me at all times. So
okay, so if you're 8.45, you're not legal. Okay, we're not going to scrimp, 4.5, 4.6. No, it's got to be 8.44 or less.
right.
So
And I ran through a couple batteries today just out messing around, and I noticed that my charger usually kicks them out at about 8.38 or so, which is just fine.
yeah, we just don't want anybody supercharging their battery up right before the feature and get a little extra oomph.
Yeah, as I noticed with the Ironman last year, it really does come down to a battery game.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Especially when we run a 100 lapper. Now on lap, so when you get into the A main, and I don't know if you want to do it if we have a B feature. I'm not really sure what's going on as far as car count. But if you get into the A main, I'll have a table sitting down there, and you can put your battery packs on that table. And then we have these little stickers. And these stickers will be wrapped around your cable where your plug's at. Whether it's positive or negative, don't matter, and they'll stick together. Okay, there we go, stick together like that.
Yeah.
And Zach will check your batteries, and if you're good to go, he'll put that sticker around there, and they have to be on, or you're disqualified. So that doesn't mean that you have a battery in your pocket and you think you can peel these stickers off. No, they're going to be self-stuck together, and you're going to have to rip them off. So
yeah, when you come in at that 50 lap change, I'll take a quick glance at the batteries as you pull them out. That sticker's still there. Were good.
Yeah. And the other thing is gear ratio. This track, we're at a 2386. I'm not sure about Losi. What are they stock gear at?
I don't know. I haven't been able to find a lot of it. Somebody, if you know what it is, stock on the Losi sprint car, go ahead and comment.
Yeah, comment.
I know that on the Mud Boss shootout, they have a list of rules for the Losi specifically. I sent you that link, I think.
Yeah, and I didn't see anything on there on gears. So
yeah, I believe it just said.
I think you can leave. Gears. I think the spur gear is stock, but you can change your pinions. Whereas this, it's got to be box stock out of the box. Do you find the gear ratios that we're running are quite fine as they are?
Yeah. Yeah, I've honestly found out that the 86 spur to 23 pinion kind of seems to be about the prime spot for the track.
Okay, and I don't know anything about Losis because I don't have one. So next year.
Well, you got time before Sunday. Go get one.
Next year.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what we're looking at is the 8.44 volts.
At the max, yes.
At the max,
yeah.
Going in the A feature, and then on the Losis, whatever the stock number is. And guys, if you got any, I don't even what I do with my book.
8420. Thank you, Dennis Campbell. Yep, that's what Dennis just put. And on checking the gearing, when you come up to have your gear checked, if we do it after the race, that's fine. But if we do it before the race, we can have the gear checked, and your car goes right to the track, not back to the pits, anywhere else, just right to the track.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
If you have a dust cover on, just pull it real quick, have it checked, zip it back on, and right to the track.
Yeah, Nate Will said the same thing. 8420. So, but guys, if you got any questions on these stuff, I've got it right here in front of me. I can read them off real quick. I don't want to go through the entire rule package. I know the Solus, Beginner, and Advance is basically. And I want to let you guys be aware.
Rob the Slowsy.
What's that? Slowsy?
Yeah.
Okay. And
Kim's watching volleyball.
What's the score, Kimmy? Let me know. Volleyball and go Big Red. Yep. Penn State tonight. It's going to be a good game. Matter of fact, I'm also watching the Flow Racing, the late models.
Okay, yeah.
On. So, but the slash mud boss. Now I'm gonna let you guys know these rules were not created just by me only or Zach. Okay, these rules were created and copied from what we gathered on Facebook. The Salvus mud rules is pretty generic. It's like we always ran. The only difference is we're an 8.4 volts and the gear ratio 2386. I don't see anything outside of not allowing. I know they don't allow adding weight. So do not add weight. If you add weight to your
Right.
car, you better take it off, or Zach will find it and DQ you. But you could do a lot of different things with that low C, not low C, the Slash. The Traxxas modified is the BL2 modified and late model, and I got them combined together because they're the same car.
Yeah.
You just got to change bodies out. It has to have that interior with the driver and all this other stuff. Basically, it's a highly restricted spec class. For
Yeah,
out
it's
here.
very, very box stock. I think the only thing different about like your track, you allow open radio.
We allow open radio. We also allow to run a fan on the ECM. I guess that's what you call it, ECM.
ESC.
Cool. The ESC. Yeah, to keep it cool, because of the track so long. You know, we don't want to cause grief because of this track is your non. It's not a typical 10 scale track. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. And on Sunday, if anybody wants to run like 5 fans, go right ahead. I'm going to run none, and that way my battery lasts, and it'll give me advantage. But only if you have to race against me.
Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing in here that that really has changed on rules that we normally ran all year, except for the fan. You can change now. The springs have to be the white springs with that little blue mark. You can go up and down on the wedge. There's a little blue mark on the springs. Because it says right here, only stock Traxxas shocks, pistons, and white spring must be used. And I know on mine, Zach disappeared.
I disappeared to my mud boss.
Well, now this is on the Traxxas, so I don't know what.
Oh, on the Slash.
Slash. Yeah, the Slash Traxxas and late model.
Yeah, because the mud boss, it's a little red mark.
Right.
But on the
because I know on mine it has a little blue spot.
Yep. On the bottom end, no cuts in the springs.
With the advanced mud boss, beginner mud boss, you can cut up to 5 rounds. But so you got to, we are allowing open radio on this, and we may run the fan on the ECM or
ESC.
Whatever you call it. Otherwise, no ceramic bearings, no hybrid ceramics. Pretty generic. You have to have a slipper clutch, and components must be used. And you can and there's a list of different, like 3 different servos you can run on there. It's the same thing as the Mud Boss as far as servos.
Yeah.
And so that's boils that down. You have to run the stock / modified late model Hoosier angle blocks, but now late model, I guess, comes out with a different foam versus the modified. Yes, and you can do a combination of both. We're not going to try to check your foam because you're modified versus a late model, but you can't go in there and put your aftermarket foam inside that tire. Slash wheels are stock factory. You can do traction compound. I have no problem with you guys because you ain't going to see it on the track anyway,
Right.
And the tread pattern may not be modified. Natural wear only. Tires cannot be sanded or ground down on the Traxxas late model. No weight added to the body or chassis. So
Yeah, it's pretty clear cut.
Pretty clear cut. On the low C, and this is what Zach sent me because I didn't have anything. Car has to be run as it comes out of the box, except for a few exceptions. No carbon fiber and no aluminum upgrades.
And that's direct from the Mud Boss shootout page. That's happening in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
The only changes that we are allowing out here is fan on the motor. You can keep the motor cooler that way. You can put a fan on it. Of course, we can do shock oils and diff oils and stuff like that. You can change the ball cups to more of a heavy-duty ball cup, like Associated, I believe that Saltel was saying to everybody to use in case they pop off on the tie rod end. You can use them. No modifications to the chassis, wing, motor mount, or body. No cage pieces can be removed, such as bars, driver compartment, or braces. And then the stock tires. There's a part number from Losi on front and rear. no aftermarket hexes and stuff. So, and it too has to be a 5200 milliamps, 50C, 8.4 bore max. So pretty generic, it's pretty, the idea, and I don't know how Zach feels about this, but when I got involved in this, I knew nothing except for what we ran on the Ironman and a few special races with the Mud Boss. But I want to keep it cost effective, because if you want to spend your money, there's a lot of classes out there you can spend a lot of money on, like those 410s and 360s.
Oh, yeah.
and even a quarter scale or a fifth scale. If you want to spend your money, it's there, but these, let's keep it stock. Because I feel when I race against some of these guys, I feel that I'm getting beat by either their driving or their setup, not because they're spending extra money on tires or they're spending extra money on this and that. So,
right.
And this track is so big that, it's pretty forgiving out there.
Yeah.
It's kind of like racing at Daytona. It's kind of like racing at Daytona. You can get behind somebody, and I've seen them where I get my late model behind a guy and really get underneath them. You can see their back end kind of wiggle. It's like, and I can't believe that you could actually take the air off these little things, but you can. So
yeah,
it's crazy to see. So
yeah, your track really does come down to the corners and clean racing. I mean, we're going to get into each other because it's so hard to gauge how close you are. Like sometimes you get by somebody in that backstretch and it's just pure luck that you got by him as close as you did without hitting them.
Yeah.
And you can't control everything, but trying to stay clean and run through it seems to be
Jeff
the
Davis
best.
says your track is, finish your sentence. What is it? Kim says we're leading 1-0, so that's good to see. But
Yeah.
Now going into next year, and now, oh, by the way, we have some special rules for the Mud Boss as far as format rules. It's pretty much the same, but if you're going to be in the beginner class, you cannot go into any other classes. Okay. And we'll probably adopt that going into next year. So if you sign up for beginner,
Hold on, sorry. Jeff just said your track is a Knoxville track and my track is a Eagle Raceway bull ring.
yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah, this is true. And that makes interesting racing, because you know what? You can come out here and do terrible, and you can go to Hackberry and do fine, or vice versa, or the Chax train. So that's an interesting comment there.
Kim said, or the wall gets in your way.
Well, yeah, that's Kim.
I noticed the wall likes to just kind of come off and just fly right in front of Kim,
quite a bit.
and my wife too.
I was going to say both you, and they both like that wall.
We should just put their names as sponsors in those corners.
We'll put a red X there every time they hit where they hit it at. So
the whole track will be red.
Yeah. So, but the Mud Boss Advance, if you can run any other class, but if you're a beginner, and that's how you sign up. Now, if Zach Osburn says, you know what, I'm going to run the beginner class, that's great. You can run it. I got no problem with it. You can't run your modified or your late model or a low C.
Exactly. Yeah. The beginners are people who really are learning how to run
but
the car.
We also we also going to put a breakout time in, and that's 9 seconds.
Right.
Just to keep, because we want beginners to run in the beginner class, to let them get used to, and they want to win just as bad as I do, as Zach does. They just want to win, and give them an opportunity to win in the beginner class.
Yeah, and they get that win, or they get close, and it's a lot of times it pushes them to do better or to learn more, and brings them back.
Exactly. Yeah.
You take that away from them by sandbagging and coming in, and you're running 8.6 in a class that should be running right around that 9 second range.
Right. Well, and the idea is just a breakout time, so it keeps guys like me or Zach, saying, you know what, I want to get in there. Well, I've got to learn how to drive my car under 9 seconds. Now that can be modified. If we got drivers that are in 10 seconds, we got one driver that's 9.1. There's a big spread there, and we can change that breakout time at will. Because we want to keep now, the breakout time is if you meet or exceed the 9 second mark, you will not score a lap. Okay. And if you question that, I've got the computer sitting there with the scoring system. And
That's
it
right,
states, yeah, it states right there where, here we go. My camera's over here. It states where you broke out at, and it gives
Yeah.
you a time. So, also, I'm real big about open door policy. If you've got a scoring issue where you don't agree with the finish, but don't come to me while we're racing. Wait till after the races are over with. And then what we do is we get the class together and we talk about it. Because at the end of the day, I just want everybody to know that they got a fair treatment on the track. And usually when there's a scoring issues, it's because they missed the scoring loop. And I'm not going to go in there and readjust it, throughout the day.
Yeah, and we had that happen this year where you had to get the group together a couple times.
Yeah, and that worked out really good in my opinion. Let's see what else. Rolling starts. Usually we line up in the back stretch. There's an orange line up there, and then we just come out of turn 4. Single file, no jump in the start. We have a cone down there that I can watch. Sometimes
Until I hit it, and then it's 16
when you
feet
hit
down
it,
the
we
track.
But that poor cone has been beat up pretty good this year.
Yeah, I've done a fair share of that to it.
So we do rolling starts. Complete restarts are only out of turn 2. So when the last place driver comes out of turn 2 and there's a mark on the backtrack, because we can't do a complete restart the entire track, otherwise we'll never get any racing in. So the restart is the last car coming out of turn 2, and then the race is official. We'll only do 2 complete restarts. Whether you bump somebody coming out of 4 where you're not supposed to, and then we start throwing people to the back automatically.
Yeah.
On cautions, if we have a race, I can't have a bunch of marshals running around out there because the track's too big, and I'm afraid somebody's going to get hit. So on our cautions, and it has worked out fairly well, hasn't it?
There's a few times we've had to tell people, hey, turn around and go back to where you were supposed to stop at.
Yep.
Don't try and jump through. We will call you out on it. It's have some integrity. We're all out here to have fun. We're not racing for big money. Yeah, it's bragging rights, but we're trying to have fun so we can continue doing this hobby.
No sandbaggers in the beginner class.
and so if you're trying to kind of like quote unquote cheat your way in and stuff like that, don't do it. Just don't. Like I said, have some integrity. It doesn't make you any better to do that.
Exactly. So what we do is when the yellow comes out or red flag because somebody's in the grass or crash upside down on a track somewhere, we'll call red or a yellow. Everybody stop where you're at.
Hit the pull cord lightly.
We give you about a 5 foot because everybody can't just stop automatically. So you get about 5 foot. And then once the cars get flipped over where you're at, the marshals will flip you where you're at the wreck and get everybody straightened out. Then I'll say rolling start, and then we'll give you about 6 foot of rolling start. Then I'll say green. Now, if you meet or exceed that 5 foot mark, and I'm guessing because my eyesights can only see so much, I can't go out there with the tape measure and say, well, you went. But if you exceed a lot of positions or gain a position, I'm going to put you to back, but it's going to be farther back than you're used to. Okay.
Yeah. Everybody just
like you said, integrity.
Accountable.
Yeah, integrity. So don't try
if it's called red and somebody passes me as it's called right after it's called red, I'm going to go back in front of them. You know, but if it just happened where it falls, just like a caution in actual racing, that was your position. That's where you're at for the restart.
And I can't see, me and Kim can't watch every aspects of every car out there. No. So if we miss one, drivers, trying to take it on yourself on the driver's side, say, hey, dude, you know what? Like Zach said, you went around me when the red came out. I'm going to go ahead of you.
Yeah. Can you get that radio back up on the driver's stand?
And I will have that radio. I keep forgetting. I charged it up last weekend. I had it ready to go. And I forgot to put it out there. So remind me if I keep forgetting to put the radio. There is a radio. It's a Motorola 2A. If you got questions or somebody can go and man the radio a little bit, we can do that. So, that worked out really well.
Drivers, if somebody, if Mike or Kim doesn't see the wreck happen, as it happens, don't pull up on the cord, push down on the cord. It seems to work better. But don't hold it like I did that one day because I definitely treated it like a fucking train horn.
That thing has been abused so much that if it breaks during the day, I'm not going to work on it because it's a homemade buzzer.
Yeah, and if you hear it, instant stop.
Yeah, it's been with me since 2013 or 14, but sometimes I got to fix it.
Yeah.
So-
And that buzzer's loud enough that you can't get away with the I didn't
well, you
hear
know
it.
what
Oh,
that
you
is,
heard it.
Ninja. You know what that
Uh,
buzzer come from?
Is it from a game clock?
It's a game clock at a basketball rink at
Nice.
high school. They were
We should see
changing
if
out.
one of our drivers can get us a new one.
Yeah, well, I've seen one that I really want to get. That is a buzzer, okay, just like, but it also has a flashing yellow light. So not only it wakes you up, but it gives us
Yeah,
an opportunity
gives
to
us a
see,
visual as well.
and they'll go off until you release the handle, and then the flashing yellow light goes off. But I'm thinking about maybe doing something like that next year. So, guys, any questions? We only got 6 guys on, so. But I'm gonna thank you guys for coming out this past winter, this summer. Their banquet is October 19th, 1 o'clock. Basically, me and Kim's gonna make some. I think we're making sloppy joes.
And maybe this Saturday, something we can do while we're at the races, real quick, is kind of just people go through and make a list of what they say they're going to bring, so that people don't, you don't want if there's only 10 people show up, you don't want 10 people bringing boxes of chips or something.
Boxes of chips, right? Yeah, we can do that. Yeah, I'll have Kim do that. And we decided to take it out of her garage because I just don't think her garage is big enough to hold everybody. And plus the parking, if everybody shows up with their kids and family members. And this way at the park, there's playground for the kids to do something.
Right.
And then, because what I'll do is I'll go through my spiel of thanking everybody for showing up, kind of give a history of what's going on at the track this past summer. We'll talk about what kind of class rules you want to see, what changes on formats. I'm not saying I'm going to say, yes, we're going to do it today. I'll have to think about it over the winter. And then we'll hand out our plaques, and that's pretty much the day. So, yeah, it's a good idea. I can bring a notebook. Okay, good. So, but we thought this would work better. Usually we have it at Pizza West, but I don't know. It kind of expanded. This wasn't cheap either. Well, this wasn't, because you had to reserve the, so, but I think overall it's better for everybody. Better parking. Kids can play. Because this is more of a family event, these racing out here. So we got a lot of kids involved versus the large scale. So
that's one of the nice things about how much area there is for summertime, especially how much area there is at your track in the pit area, is that the kids have plenty of room to run around without interfering with.
Well, they're playing football the other night. I saw them.
Yeah.
Throwing the ball and playing football and stuff. And that's good. That's cool to see. So
Kira just told me, she goes, "I'm going to bring cones."
Oh,
give them their marked off area. No, they're a little marked off area.
So, I don't have anything else. Zach, you got anything you want to bring up that I'm not enough?
Just touch base again. Your battery voltage, keep it under 844. 8623 at the Ironman and any other night.
Now, I do have a guy that is running the BL2 for Saturday night for the Advance because his motor is so old that I just told him go ahead and order a BL2. So would you allow him to run that BL2 for Saturday night?
Let's talk with the guys, but I don't think it'll be an issue. I know you're talking about it won't affect points.
He's not in points anyway, but he got frustrated.
He wants to feel competitive.
Well, his car, that motor is old. I mean, that thing's been around a long time. And so,
Nate, I really enjoyed it. Feel free to donate to me those cars.
Nate Wheel says, Zach, how did you like driving my 360? And I'm going to ask you, Nate, what did you think personally about? Because we never had a dedicated. I mean, these Traxxas modifieds and they're dedicated, but these are, I don't know what would you term would you use for these type of cars? They're custom built cars, let's say, from different like Phildo.
I don't know a lot about the
GRP
360s and 410s. I definitely got to say thank you because I know there's a lot of money into those, so it's a lot of trust to hand your remote off to somebody else.
Did you race it?
Controller. I ran his 360 and his 410 for a few laps each.
So, give me an honest opinion compared to your late model or your.
It's a whole different beast. I got a corner because they've got, it's more like they have the rear wheel steering and stuff. So going down the straightaway, you actually have to kind of counter it to keep it straight. And coming through the corners, it'll darn near corner itself on your track.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you think something like this, like a 360 Sprint or a 410 Sprint dedicated car, I call it, would this work out here on this track? Would you say if let's say somebody says, "Hey, I've got 3 of them," because 3 makes a class, you know?
Yeah.
Over here. Is it something that could maybe potentially?
I think it's a potential thing. I think at that point it comes down to the drivers if they want to run them, if they like the surface and stuff, and if they think they can run them smoothly, then yeah.
Okay.
They're kind of your track's forgiving enough and big enough, you can kind of full bore on the throttle on it and really get the speed out of it. But I think that, like I said, it comes down to what the drivers of those cars really think.
Because I noticed some guys said they want a 410 class in that Losi sprint car, meaning basically anything goes, whatever Losi has, because Losi offers a lot of stuff.
I think the Losi car itself for a while needs to stay box stock. That's my opinion.
Okay.
It's a bring people in class. It was kind of, in my opinion, it was their answer to the Traxxas late model and the Traxxas modified.
Yeah, this is true. This is true. Yeah. So, well, we'll have to give some thought if guys want to run a 360 or 410. I know I got a short course modified that I raced at Hobbyplex years and years and years ago. It's got a 13.5 motor in it. And those short courses, they're an 8 scale. They're huge. Again, I don't have the camera right, but they're pretty big. And I was going to try to charge the battery up. I haven't raced it in years. I don't even know what radial I got hooked up on. And it was fast at Hobbyplex. It's just the track is so little and these cars are so big that that modified they were always wrecking all the time because there's just such a big car. And I thought, gosh darn, because I heard rumor that they're using the short courses with late model bodies, and that'd be cool.
Yeah.
So
touch base again on the Mud Boss Advance real quick for Saturday night.
Yeah.
Not only because like I said, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I don't personally have an issue with him running that. Actually, if my math was right on when I went over the points at the end of last race, I don't think any position can actually change almost no matter what happens. For that class specifically, if that makes sense.
Yeah. No. Well, like I said, he went down and ordered a BL2 system for his Mud Boss, because why have him spend $25 on a motor when you can just put that into that BL2? And he's out of the points, and he won't be able to race Sunday anyway because he's got to head back home on Sunday because he's lives.
Well, and like I said, I don't think no matter who finishes in what position, it will change the top 3 in that class in their positioning.
Nate says Mike would like to try my 360. I'm always scared of racing out of people's car, but I would probably do it. I mean, the track's big enough. I don't think I'm going to hurt it any.
Dennis said a Losi Outlaw and Losi Stock class. I don't mind that idea. I like that idea. I mean, it's not my track, but I like that idea. If we got enough people out there with enough cars that want to run them that way,
right?
Like you said, 3 makes a class. And Jeff said we might get you could get a few 360s from Hackberry.
Yeah, that would work. That'll work. Yeah.
Now, I raced at Hackberry. I've only raced there one time. I actually managed to wedge my modified in between that corrugated piping on the outside edge in turn 3 off the ground, just wedged.
Yeah,
which was pretty impressive.
Well, I was going to run out there this summer, and I'm sure Dennis or Jeff can say something. But matter of fact, I was going to race not necessarily the Mud Boss because I sold it, but the late model or the Traxxas, and go up there this summer and race because it's a fun little track. It sits kind of in the back there, and the drivers all seem to get along pretty well. Dennis Campbell says no Losi Outlaw and just a Losi Stock class.
So yeah,
we can do that. I mean,
stock,
whatever buddy people want. I mean, I'm not particular. I just making sure that there's some talk. I'm not sure how many guys want to do it. I don't think I would do it with my Losi if I get one next year, just because I don't want to spend the money.
Could do a Mad Max race where somebody has one of those electric Nerf guns and just sits on the edge and beans cars with the Nerf gun for 50 laps.
Was it? I think it was Dennis Campbell or Nick was saying they threw a fake chicken, one of those chickens that honk.
There was, I know Nick was telling me about it.
I saw a video of that, and I thought that's what you guys do down in Arkansas, is throw a fake chicken RC cars.
You got to make things interesting sometimes. Got to keep it going.
I guess so. Otherwise, I don't have anything else, guys. If you want to come on and comment some more or ask about our class rule, obviously everybody seems to be happy with our rules. Now, again, guys, I built these. I did not build these rules. These rules were copied off of other places. And they seem like they came in pretty good. What we do out here, we did add some modifications. Zach, he will have the rule book. I'll have my own rule book in the scoring shed. Next year,
Dennis said it's called the chicken chucker.
Chicken chucker. Okay. Next year, I want to remind everybody, and of course, we're a ways out. We're going to probably start racing in maybe April or May. But next year, we're going to be a little more stricter on the rules. I mean, because I know there's some cars out there that got bought used. They're running aluminum parts, aftermarket parts that strictly says no updates, no modifications. So this gives you all season to go in there and change those parts out. We're not, so just be aware of that. Like, for instance, aluminum bearing carriers. You can run the RPM, no aftermarket parts like RPM, except for the rear bumper. You can run that.
And you can run that RPM rear bumper in any class.
Right.
Yeah.
But we're going to be a little bit more stricter next year, just because we're kind of liberal. We're muddling through this. As far as format rules of track, I'll try to print something out on format, but we're pretty, the Mud Boss beginner class is probably what we'll stick with going into next year with the 9-second rule, maybe 9.5-second rule. Who knows?
Yeah. And like I said, a lot of that come down to consistency as well. But at the same point, you see how fast the track is that night. Because we had some times where we've gone out there and we're running 9-second in the advanced class, But then at that point, that's where you had said earlier, like the beginner class at that point was running in the 10-second range.
Tree work was crazy this season. Took a lot of my time with all the storms. Well, you got to make money. This is a hobby. So, hey guys, I don't have anything else. We're going to finish up here. I want to thank everybody for coming out this year. It's been an interesting year. Normally we run large scales. Large scales kind of took a vacation. I think we still got a bunch of large scales around. And if you guys want to run large scale with us out here, we can. I still got my quarter scale sprint car. Don's got his quarter scale dirt car. But 3 makes a class. Okay.
Kim.
Here and I'll be an advanced in the beginner class. Well, keep it up. Keep practicing.
I think we should put paint on the outsides of their cars, and then we'll know where they hit the walls.
Fresh paint every time. Or have somebody sit up there on a driver's stand with a paintball gun, and every time you hit a wall, we just blast it with a paintball.
I like that idea.
So this has been an interesting year. I want to thank everybody for coming out. That has been fun, and she's never drove an RC car in her life.
Yeah. Kira's winter was Kira's first real time. I mean, she ran 1 or 2 races last summer in Grand Island.
Yep.
And then this winter was her first real full season, mostly full season, but we had our wedding and stuff, so she would miss for dress appointments and stuff like that. And then this summer was her first pretty much full situation, except that we missed for our wedding.
So anyway, I just head out the track. Yeah, you went to that gate and disappeared in the darkness.
She was racing in the trees. That's where Kim was. She was hunting.
But it's been a great year. I've had a lot of fun. I met a lot of nice people this year, people that I've never met before, and I'm expecting the class to continue to grow. With Hobbytown they're supposed to come out Sunday, because they are our corporate sponsor and they've really helped out. We should run Friday night flyers next year. Well, that got, I don't know, Zach, you heard that, but a couple guys were asking about running street stock bodies type stuff on the Mud Boss Advanced chassis. Yeah. Instead of just having the I don't know, what do they call it, East Coast modified body on it, is being more. And I said, that's fine, but it's got to be 3 a class. because the rules will still be the same as far as the chassis itself. But if you want to run a street stock body on these mud bosses, apparently they're doing it somewhere. But
Yeah, they'll just make up their own class. So if 3 of them are there, why not?
So yeah, guys, I appreciate everybody coming out. Zach, he's going to be our tech director, so look him up. He's going to carry the Bible with him. And what's nice about this is we could always modify something down the line if we have to. I don't think we are going to modify anything. I don't think there's anything in there to modify. So get your cars at Hobbytown in Lincoln, Nebraska. Nick Bryan. Oh, Nick's on.
Yeah, the 12T crate late model bodies. They're running the crate late models down at the Mud Boss shootout too, if I remember correctly.
Well, when you're down there, check in on that and see what that's all about. I don't know what you mean by a 12T crate late model body. I mean, I don't know who makes the body. Is that a different manufacturer?
I'm pretty sure it is for the body. What's up, Steve?
Steve Walls up, Zach. I thought I saw you on Jensen last night a couple times making comments, so I recognize.
Me and Steve were discussing this cricket making a ton of noise in the background that was untraceable.
You know what? I watched it, and it was it was funny, but it was kind of irritating too at the same time. And then Rob, he takes off and he's probably chasing this, trying to rope this chick, just
cricket around, yeah.
We call it. We had a guy from, and I don't want to make the show any longer, but it had to do with a cricket story. But a couple years ago, we had the quarter scale nationals out here, and we have it every year. And so after the Saturday night feature, after 3 days or 4 days of racing, this guy won asphalt nationals or dirt nationals, and it's a pretty big thing for the quarter scale market. And so. He got kind of drunked up. I'm not giving names or anything, but he had a little bit too many, coolers. We're all sitting around this fire and having a good time laughing. And all of a sudden he leaves and he comes back later. He said, "My God, I can't believe all the spiders you got down there." I said, "Spiders?" He said, "Yeah, they're big black spiders." And I says, "Well, where at?" He says, "Well, down by that railroad tie in turn 1 and 2. He says, "My gosh, there were so many black." I said, "Oh, come on." No, and he's stumbling around. So I walked down there with a bunch of other guys and I moved the railroad. He said, "Be careful, they'll bite you." And I said, "No, let me look." I figured there may be wolf spiders or something, Yeah. And I looked at it and I said, "Oh," I said, "those are Nebraska tarantulas." "What?" He said, "They're all over the place." I said, "Yeah, they're called Nebraska tarantulas." I says, "They will bite you, and you have to go to the hospital." And he's, "Oh my God, they're just crickets." So
J-Body RC Fabs, the 12T bodies. Thanks, Nick Ryan. And Jason Edwards, not a whole lot. We just kind of went over the battery rule of nothing above 8.44 volts, 8623 for the gearing on the Traxxas classes. Just basic. Other than that, just kind of been
pretty much what we've been running all year. Again, we're kind of liberal Saturday night. So if you're running something that's not by the book, I think we'll probably, outside of the gear ratio on the battery, we'll probably just ignore it this year. But next year, we'll be really looking into making sure everybody is legal. And I know there's some mud bosses running around out there that probably don't have the stock parts. They're using aftermarket. So Dennis Campbell posted
GY bodies also.
Who's GY? Is that
I'm gonna guess that's a company that. GT bodies.
GT cut bodies. Okay. Well, whatever you guys want to do next spring, 3 makes a class. I don't care. I mean, I don't know how Zach feels about it, but it's still going to be under a / rule book. So
I'm bringing out 3 John Deere tractor RCs, and we'll see what happens. I run some 86-second lap times.
There you go. Well, guys, hey, if you're going to come out Saturday night to get a little practice in, of course, you've got to be a QSAC member, but Sunday we're waiving that insurance program there, so come on out, have a good time. It's a different type of racing than you see at your dedicated 10 scale tracks. It's wide open, it's big, so I think everybody will have a good time. So anything else, Zach, before we close out?
No, pretty clear. Just remember Mud Boss Advance for the most part, 12T motor on Saturday night, but Sunday we are allowing the, the BL2S as well if you want to run it in the Mud Boss Advance.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, whatever you guys want to do next spring, you know, 3 makes a class. I don't know how Zach feels about it, but it's still going to be under a / rule book. So anything else, Zach, before we close out?
No, pretty clear. Just remember Mud Boss Advance for the most part, 12T motor on Saturday night, but Sunday we are allowing the BL2S as well if you want to run it in the Mud Boss Advance.
Okay. Well,
That's
Zach, thank you
pretty much
for volunteering your time on this. And guys, if Zach says it's not legal, I'm going to stand by him 100%. Okay.
Yeah.
So don't come to me.
And I'm
say,
just going to go
"Well,
off the rules. So
yeah,
the rules that are
and
printed are what they are.
yeah, and if you guys want to read them, I'll have a copy in the scoring shed, and Zach will have his book available, and he can take this home and stuff. So, because the bottom line is, we just want to have a good time without spending a ton of money to have a good time, So,
Yeah. And on another thing, if somebody wants to question my car, they can check it. The rules are right there.
Same
I'll let
with
them
me.
look at it right there.
Guys, if you got a question, go to Zach. Zach, take a look at my car. I don't care. You can take a look at it and see what's in there. It's stock out of the factory. I mean, I think
Yes, Steve.
outside of changing the oil out of the diff or something.
Yeah, Steve Wall. Yes, on Sunday you can run either the 12T or the BL2S. They're going to be ran in the same advanced class.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. They'll be mixed.
They'll be mixed with 12T brushless, and yeah, they'll be mixed until guys converting over to a full. And I think it makes smart to go to a BL2, in my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah.
Do you see a performance gain between the regular stock brush versus brushless?
I was looking at times last year from the Mud Boss shootout, and granted, you have different drivers at different styles and different setups, but they were really about a tenth of a second off, 6 seconds over what was it, 35 laps or whatever. But again, they weren't the same drivers running the same thing. Jason
Edwards says you're going to run brushless with brush from Mud Boss on Sunday. Yes. And going into next year, Jason. The only thing we don't mix is the Traxxas modified and late model. There will be just strictly BL2 system. The Mud Bosses, I don't know. We can mix them. I don't care. Do you?
No, not really. Not unless there's a drastic performance difference, but there's nothing that I have looked up has shown that.
Right. Okay. So, but going into next year, yeah, we'll probably mix them in the Mud Bot. But now, if your Traxxas late model or modified, yes, it's got to be a BL2 motor. So,
no steel spurs on the Mud Boss, Steve. Plastic only.
Let me see here. That came up. Let me look at the book here. Original manufacturer, no aftermarket parts. Chassis, no aftermarket hop-ups. Electronics. You can run your own radio. Adjustments. Traxxas / steel transmission gears only.
That's in the transmission. That's not on the spur and pinion. The pinions
okay,
are still good. The spurs are all plastic that we've been running.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, like for Sunday, I guess I don't really care.
As far as
running a steel spur gear, I mean, I guess I'll look up, and I mean, if you got one, bring it with you, and ask me on Sunday.
Yeah, I don't have nothing about the spur gear. All it says is Traxxas.
Yeah.
And then 2386 gear only, no modifications. Original bell crank, white plastic bushings can be replaced by bearings, gear cover on all time. You're allowed to use any original wheel spacer combinations. That was one question that I had from Dana. I think they're gray and black.
Yeah.
You need to have two of each. Two of each, but you can use any combination.
Yeah.
May clean out transmission.
Jason, that's hard to really tell. Sorry,
Traxxas / steel transmission gears only. Let's see here. I'm fantastic, guys, that you're all commenting here because this is what we need. Brushless is faster, isn't it? I don't know. Is it? I think its durability, is a lot better.
Yeah, it's got better durability. It's hard to really tell if it's truly faster. Jason, you're fast anyway,
I think it'll last longer.
But we'll let Sunday be the tester on that, really.
I like the steels. I don't burn them up. I seem to eat the plastic ones like candy. I don't have any rule.
Steve, get a slower car.
Yeah.
If you get a slower car, Steve, you'll stop burning them up.
Suspension.
honestly, if he's not, I'm okay with it. It's a durability thing. That's just me
Okay.
personally.
Well, there's nothing in the rule book that says you can't do it. So if it's
Yeah.
so okay, guys. Hey, we're over our time. Usually I like to do this an hour, but thank you guys for chiming in and being part of this show. Hopefully we're going to do one more show right before the end of the season, and then I got a big quarter scale show coming up end of October before I go in and have. And guys, hey, I'm going to be out of whack. Oh, he signed off. I'm going to be out of whack for a few weeks because of the fact that I'm going to have shoulder replacement surgery. So end of October, going into November, I probably won't be answering a lot of questions because I'm going to be recovering. So thanks. That's why I asked. Yep, no problem. Jay Sedgwick says, well, thank you. Yep, no problem there. So, but we're going to have our banquet the 19th, guys. Come on out. We're going to award our winners, and we had a great season, guys. And hey, live from Outlaw Raceway Park, we are signing off.